We're back. We're going to talk about the Mandalorian very quickly, very briefly. I'm not going to go into like details of names of characters, etc. Like we're just going to talk about like who made it, what made it great, what tiny wee fail. I'll admit this, right? Obviously, this is a spoiler as hell video. Well, within reason, there's a spoilers. We'll just say spoilers. Okay, we'll start spoilers. Spoilers. If you've not seen The Mandalorian, which I'm assuming everyone in this world has seen it now because obviously it came out in Disney Plus in America first, and then we just got Disney Plus the other 2-3 weeks ago. I've been tempted to watch The Mandalorian online, but I thought, obviously it is online essentially, but I thought I'll wait until it comes on Disney Plus. I'll wait till I finish my job in Leith, and obviously like I said in my previous video, my catch up video, I watched it within 24 hours. Holy shit, this series, it was so beautiful from start to finish. There was not one episode that I was like, this is shit, this is boring. Like, it's kind of like The Walking Dead. Like, there's some episodes in The Walking Dead seasons where you're just like, they're just basically they'll just be kind of filling in episodes, like filling the gap kind of episodes, just to kind of keep the series like to 16, 24, whatever length of season it is, right? The Mandalorian was so short and sweet. It was like 30 to 35 to 46 minutes an episode. So short, so sweet, so just there you go, done, that you're actually craving for more. It was done beautifully in terms of the time of each episode. It was done beautifully in the terms of there was no so much a story arc. It was just basically individual episodes that had a wee kind of thing here and there to then have this big beautiful finale. It was shot beautifully. It was cinematic, obviously because it's Disney. Like, as much as people have named and shamed them for their recent Star Wars films, I've always stood by them. I think the Star Wars franchise is a massive franchise. It has been. I think Disney's done it justice. I think the finale of the Rise of Skywalker was beautifully executed. A few issues here and there, but I started doing a review, so I'm going to watch the Rise of Skywalker because it's going on to Disney Plus tomorrow, May 4th, and the 4th birthday. So I'm going to watch it again, and then I'll do a proper review because I've still not done that as well. I'm totally behind in everything. I'm backlogging from last year. The Marvel Universe, Disney know what they're doing in terms of giving fans what they want. Fair enough, some slaggings for the Star Wars films, but The Mandalorian is 100% everything that fans want. Whether you love Star Wars or hate Star Wars, you can watch it and still know that it's a Star Wars product, whatever you want to call it. The Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal, who's not actually in the Mandalorian suit. It turns out that he never even get cast until they'd actually finished production. He was only there for the voice. It's mental because you would believe that it's actually him inside that suit. The Mandalorian himself, like Mando, Pedro Pascal's voice, it's weird because I honest to God thought, I knew it was him, but you think it's Timothy Olyphant, and if you don't know who Timothy Olyphant is, watch Justified, watch Deadwood, even watch Hitman, the first Hitman film, Agent 46, well the first Hitman film. He's a very underrated actor. Anyway, we'll say that. So the Crazies, the remake of the Crazies was so good, by the way. Anyway, so Mandalorian, it sounds like Timothy Olyphant. I was like, I don't quite know who that voice is. It's not Pedro Pascal, because I forgot Pedro Pascal was like a proper American film. I think he's Chilean American, something anyway. So brilliant. You think it's him inside the suit. You really do. You believe it. Like I said, it's a spoiler here. Obviously, there was one moment. So the Mandalorian, you treat him like Judge Dredd. You never want to see him take that helmet off. He says in the all throughout the series, we don't take our helmet off. It's part of the creed. It's part of the Mandalorian. Don't take it off. And he took the helmet off. You knew it was going to build up something. We're going to take it off at some point. Spooky. And when he took it off, you were kind of like, you knew it was coming, but you're like, oh no. It's the one tiny moment in the whole of the series where I think Disney, whoever it was, has fucked up and done that. They've basically, they've shown he's human after all, and I didn't quite like it. I was kind of like, I get it, but I was like, put it back on. So I'm hoping he doesn't take it off at all ever again. But it's weird because when you actually see Pedro Pascal's face, you're just like, he's not what you think's under that suit. It's weird. But anyway, fantastic series. Obviously, I knew most of the spoilers, most of the big things that happened, because obviously, Baby Yoda, he was shown on the episode for like a minute, and all of a sudden he was splattered all over the internet within 24 hours. So everyone knew about Baby Yoda, or the species that is Yoda. He was adorable. I tell you one thing though, I never actually realised he actually had like a baby like sounds, like they actually had baby sound effects on him. That was so cool. We were just like, that's so weird, because he sounds like a baby. It's not a baby, but isn't. It's weird. He's 50 years old, by the way. If I look like that, if I look like that at 50, that'd be amazing. So yeah, the series was tremendous. It was a very cowboy western cinematic. Jon Favreau has done the franchise justice. It was so. I mean, you can watch it. I'm going to watch it again tomorrow in a oneer. It's like one big film. It was beautiful. It was violent, but not too violent. It was dark, but not too dark. It felt like Star Wars, but it felt like a different galaxy in Star Wars. It was just brilliant. Bring on series 2. I know series 3 is already happening as well. It was witty. There was so much humour to it as well. Like the more you got to meet, the more you got to know about Mando, the more he became like just a regular average Joe who's just a badass with a gun and in fights. He was quite witty. He was quite humorous. Nick Nolte's character, I can't remember his name again, but he was brilliant. He would always say something like, "I have spoken," and you're just like, just shuts you off. "I have spoken." That's it. It's like it's like a Yoda. Basically, he's like a kind of Yoda character, that just kind of arrogant, cheeky, kind of like, "I fucking tell you what I'm going to do, that's a done deal, I've spoken." It just, and then there was a thing that the dark saber, like the main big bad guy, who's the bad guy from Breaking Bad, the black guy gets face burnt, the guy gets they had the burger company. The real drug dealer had the burger company. I forget. He had this dark saber that was like, that's pretty cool. What the hell's that? And I googled into it. It turns out it's a real thing. It's a proper like real like dark saber. It's so cool. And even if the fact that it's set 5 years after Return of the Jedi and 25 years before The Force Awakens, the fact that there's still relics of the old Empire, like there's still stormtroopers going about. Quite a few like fresh faced, nice white ones. Quite a lot of the stormtroopers were very bashed up and bruised and dirty. It was brilliant, and the scene that I loved between the stormtroopers were the ones that are in Return of the Jedi, the jungle ones on the bikes. They obviously they'd kidnapped the child, and they're just basically sitting waiting for the order to go into the city to give the client, the child, his gift. And they just basically, we stuck with them for about 5 minutes, just talking shit, just chatting and just kind of hanging out. It was weird because you never seen like the kind of human side of stormtroopers just sitting, chatting about shit. It was so weird but brilliant at the same time. It's brilliantly written to see the bad guys just kind of sit. They're not bad guys, they're not good guys. They're just, it's a job. A job's a job. You know what I mean? But the bounty hunter, the Mando, is not a good guy or a bad guy. He's just, the job is this. That's it. It was just brilliantly, it was just so beautifully written. It was a great series from start to finish, and I can't wait to see more. I want to see more Star Wars Disney Plus series. You've got that, you've got Cassian, the Cassian series. You've got Obi-Wan. Cannot wait for that. I really hope that Mando does maybe bump into Obi-Wan Kenobi at some point. It'd be so. Because it just brings it all full circle, because it's not as if like it's a separate series, they're all in the same universe, they're all pretty much going to be set at the same time anyway, because like Rogue One is the Rogue One's prequel, which was already a prequel. So the Rogue One prequel, anyway, the Cassian prequel, the Cassian, the Han Solo from Rogue One, that is probably going to be set, maybe I think it's supposed to be set 5 years before Rogue One, which is about 5 years before A New Hope. Mandalorian set 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Oh no, that's right. Doesn't matter. Cassian's way before then. But anyway, the Mando can meet with Obi-Wan Kenobi. It'd be so cool. Done deal. Watch Mandalorian. Watch them all. They're beautiful, fantastic. The music, it's just Star Wars cowboys. Babbled on as usual. I'm back, bitches.